Here's a girl, she's a star. She's got style. Steffi Star, you see her face around the town. She's popular. Steffi Star.
Hi, I'm Stephanie Weinstein.
And I'm Meredith Keach.
And we have a top producing real estate team with Coldwell Banker in Easton called Weinstein Keach. And it's only Weinstein Keach because we couldn't do Keach Weinstein because then it would have been KW.
But I like Weinstein Keach.
I do. I said that to somebody yesterday and they said, that just sounds better because of the long name.
The syllables.
So, yeah. So here we are.
And we don't usually talk real estate.
No.
But today we might talk a little bit.
Well, we might. We don't know what we're going to talk
We
about.
have a very special guest.
I don't know if I'm going to be wearing my glasses the whole time, but I wanted you guys to see my Louis Vuitton glasses.
It's very fancy.
I don't even know what I paid for them. Anyway, we have the most unbelievable, fabulous guest.
Yes.
We love him dearly. He's been a friend of ours forever.
Yes.
And we would like to introduce you to Mr. Stephen Marcus.
Woohoo!
Very popular.
Attorney
very
Stephen Marcus.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. Oh, sorry. Am I in trouble? I didn't say attorney.
My favorite
Stephen
business
No, I hate that.
Oh.
Don't tell people I'm an attorney.
Oh.
Well, my favorite business card on the planet, on the back of his business card, it says, get out of jail free card.
Oh, I like that.
Yep.
I like that.
Yep. Keep her. Because you always wonder, like, two things. One, if I get arrested, and two,
Who
if I
should I
win the
call?
lottery. Who do I call?
You can call us.
So two things. One is that I think that you're the only television and screen production that has not been affected by the writer's strike. So I think that's amazing.
Yes, right, it is.
The second, not that, but I have this problem with regressing. So Carol's my wife for 41 years.
She's absolutely stunning.
Amazing.
And we're going to have her on the show, too.
Much nicer than me.
Much.
She
prettier,
so we moved
Gorgeous.
into Gaslight Village in 1985.
Oh.
I didn't realize you guys
graduated
were
high
there,
school.
too. When the Aricos were there?
Yeah, that's where we met them. Like, we moved in within
Stop
a month of each other. And what do you do for a living?
I used to babysit for them.
I do condominium law. Oh, wait a second. I do condominium law.
I have complete goosebumps on my whole body.
to me.
He was doing it in Buffalo, New York. Had come back. He grew up in Winchester. Was doing condominium law in Buffalo, New York, from attended condominium law in New York City. And Carol said, I met one of the neighbors and we were at some events, and it was just the most bizarre conversation because nobody does condominium law.
Right.
And when I tell people what I do, they laugh at me. Like, yeah, that's like fake law. And and this
Back
guy,
then it was.
And this guy who's very, very nice. So, I'm a lawyer too. What kind of law? I do condominium law. And then it was, I said, do you know of CAI, the Community Association Institute, the national nonprofit that has a New England chapter? Oh yeah, I go to all the conferences. I said, well, so do I. I go to Philadelphia and Baltimore and Los Angeles. And that's when I started on the long journey of saying to him, and it took 8 or 9 years before it happened. He was a partner at Hinckley Allen in Boston, and he was, I don't want to say miserable, but he was working 7 days a week.
Right.
Lisa would get upset about it, and every time he went to his bosses and said, my wife's going to divorce me if I'm not home more, they would give more money. He would talk to Lisa about it, and it'd stay there. And I said, Doug, I think you can make as much money or more, and it will be truly your own.
Right.
If you come to Braintree and we'll work together. And it took, he was nervous about it, the security of what he was making in Boston. I said, you're going to do just fine, but he was cautious, and in 1993, 4 months, actually, beginning of 1994, after we started the firm, my comment is he waltzed in because the first few months were the toughest. And we weren't taking salaries. We had a lot of expenses, and we were doing great. And it was going wild. And so I would laugh at him and say, "Oh, we sweated it out, and you just waltzed in after 4 months." But one of the brightest people that I know, and his wife Lisa is probably the same, but it's everything from commercial real estate law to condominium law to episodes of Three Stooges to music. He knows
Everything.
a lot about a lot. And I'm just some schlub. And
Do you know that they were my neighbors at
They were your
Shovelworks? So we lived. We lived
yeah.
in the red building together. So we were right across from each other. So I moved in first, and then they moved in, I don't know, a few months after. And so I started talking to them, and they had a beautiful golden retriever. And all of a sudden I forget the dog's name. And Lisa's like, "I'm a wreck. He's not walking. He's not moving. Something's wrong with him." I'm like, "He's being dramatic because you just moved." I said, "Hold on." So I went next door. I got my dog, Rosie. I said, "Do you mind if I bring my dog over?" She's like, "No, of course not." She opened up her door. Rosie ran in. Their dog jumped up and was chasing Rosie around. He hadn't walked for 2 days. I said he was faking it because of the move. She goes, "Oh my God."
When you said that he was a schlub and doing that, I thought you were talking about Doug.
No, I didn't know.
I'm worried. Doug is just lethargic.
I hung out with Lisa. I loved her so much. And I saw him occasionally, but they are the nicest people.
Yeah. So they're down the Cape. They're in New Seabury.
Yeah.
And I think he's chairman of the condominium.
I bet he is.
How could he not be? My God.
But just one of the smartest, nicest people I ever met. And when we were showboating and promoting ourselves, wanting to speak and talk to the Globe and talk to whatever, all he wanted to do was work. I mean, he didn't want anything to do with office management. He would any issue that we brought up.
Yep.
No matter how serious it was, he would just laugh. Oh, it'll be okay.
I like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Meredith, we need to try that.
Yes.
But,
It'll be fine.
but the move worked out well for everybody, and but that's.
I mean, how many
that's
employees?
interesting.
How many employees?
How many partners were
Yeah, how
there?
many partners and how many?
There were like 25 attorneys.
Wow.
And it was
My God.
it was big.
It's huge.
But nobody. There were only a few firms doing it, so.
One of the
we had-
attorneys that I work with, I mentioned your name to him, and he said, "Oh, he's known as the gods of condo law."
Ooh.
So the problem I have is some people, and I blush at this stuff, but some people not knowing history refer to me as the condo king.
Yeah.
And
Like the sausage king?
No, but before your times, there was a developer, Bill Lilly, who Lawyers Weekly started investigative reporting on him. He ended up in jail.
Oh.
And he made, and he was
The condo king?
Yeah, he wore fur coats.
Oh,
I like his style.
And he would convert all these buildings, and they would not do what he said he was going to do, and all that. And while he was in jail in Pennsylvania, he made more money than anybody I know. And they Lawyers Weekly tracked his, or Banker and Tradesman tracked his telephone calls, and he was
Is that loud?
talking to his girlfriend like 50 times a day, and he wasn't supposed to be doing anything with real estate.
Oh.
So I think he got nabbed again.
Ow.
But anyway, and if you want another digression,
We love a digression.
The first people I met when I moved into Gaslight were we used to walk over to the corral, not the sub corral. We were after that name was used, but at that point, Roy Kirby's place was called the Corral, and the two people that we could be guaranteed would be on there on Fridays and Saturdays were John and Arlene Keach.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
So-
the
That was
their
Keaches
haunt.
like to partay.
That was their haunt, yeah.
Also known as
It was
Meredith's
close.
parents.
and your dad even took me back to the house, or we went back to the house, and while Arlene was showing Carol around, he was playing Russian marching music to me in this cavernous study of his.
His room was like, it was pretty cool room.
But-
Big speakers and loud music. And
How cool.
But what was interesting is, with Arlene as the real estate broker, I figured it would have been the opposite. And she, not knowing what I did, said, I wish they'd stop building these damn condominiums. and your dad, who was making a ton of work with permitting, doing the closing, all that stuff. I love condominiums. They should be building much more of them. But every once in a while, he would get up on the bar stool, and he had a loud, bigger than life, cavernous voice, and would start pontificating on something.
yes.
And in any event, that's my little.
Well, he loved
walk
big
back.
brains, so I'm sure he latched right
Right.
onto you. People with big brains, that was big excitement for him.
Yeah, we always got along very, very well. And Meredith knows the story that touched me the most.
Am I going to cry?
Well, I won't tell it.
Oh, okay.
Unless you tell me to tell it.
I might get weepy, but no, it is. I mean, it's you can tell it. Go for it.
Okay, and this is my version.
Yep.
Meredith probably knows the details better. So, after it was formed by Meredith and Edwin's friends, there was the Edwin Keach Memorial wiffle ball tournament and that attracted.
I played in it.
It might have been more people than anywhere
Largest-
in the world.
Largest in America.
It was largest in
yeah.
America.
Right.
But some kids doing a prank that wasn't that funny on Chestnut Street, put whether it was big wheels or like tractor wheels or whatever, and the results were devastating, and it took Edwin's life. They found the kids. And
Well, the important point was that the kids came forward.
the kids came forward.
Yeah.
And which is remarkable by itself. But my understanding is that whereas most people, we just want vengeance and whatever, my understanding is that John looked to the judge and said, Your Honor, one family has already suffered tremendously from this. Do not destroy the lives of 3 more families.
Yeah.
And the children did not go to jail or whatever. But I just in a million years was just so taken by that story because I don't think there's maybe more than John on this earth who actually would have done that.
Yeah.
So that's my
Yep.
John
An
story.
incredible story.
The pause.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was magnificent. My brother went with them, and they pled for leniency. And those kids have a burden, that they'll carry for the rest of their lives, and a debt to society, so to speak. And it is what it is. You never know where life brings you, but yeah.
But the other the good that came out of it was I'm going to call you kids.
Yeah.
But Meredith and Edwin's friends not only did incredible in terms of raising money and raising awareness and putting on the Swiffle Ball tournament, and then eventually the Memorial Park, working that out. But Will Glenn was the person that I spoke to a lot.
Yep, Nick ran it. Nick Ventresco.
Yeah.
And Will Glenn. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they were amazing.
And at one point I said to Will, because he was at a non-profit at that point, I think maybe putting parents up at Charles River
Christopher's
Park
Haven.
For children who were at, say, a children's hospital. And I said, Edwin affected your life after he passed. And he said, what do you mean? I said, I think that the fact that you're in nonprofit work, that Meredith does so much for charities, and on, as a result of Edwin. And I just think it's remarkable. So,
I would agree. Yeah, I would agree with that. Right? There's two benefits, right? When you give back in some capacity, whether it's through volunteerism, through charity work, whatever your concept of that, it's as much a gain for you as it is for others. And you can learn through the process too, right? How to run a wiffle ball tournament,
right?
Or how to have money. And we still have all this money, which we kind of tabled. We give a scholarship every year, and when stuff comes our way, like one year the Lions needed money for the holiday festival, and my mother stepped up and said, Edwin's Foundation will step forward for that. And there's little things here and there, but we still do have a large amount of money that we said we're just going to table until we decide, until we decide if there's a big expenditure or we want to continue to do this. And that's pretty powerful to be able to do. But yeah, it was, well, and the other piece is we always had you to count on financially, number one, but also with helping us with legal questions and just sort of local support. And so when you're a kid, which, we were, you need that. And so, whenever you're in that position and you can give someone a little advice, I can say firsthand, it was tremendous to be able to go to you and say, we need a release, or we need, this was after my dad had passed, and, what do we need to do for this? And you always wrote a check, would ask good questions, and were there to support. And that helped us. I mean, we did it for a decade, which was awesome. It was so much fun.
But you changed the lives of many by doing it.
Yep.
I think Edwin changed the lives
no doubt.
Of all of you.
Yep.
Long after he passed and to this day. And if I can do another diversion, they'll get in trouble on it. Jake used to love watching Wizard of Oz. He's my now 33-year-old son, but this was a year or two ago. But I would watch Wizard of Oz twice together each day, and the Muppet movie twice a day. But when you mentioned the Lions, is that a silly name for? Why did they pick the Lions?
I have no idea. I have no idea.
I mean, it's not an Eastern thing. I mean, it's an international organization. But why lions? and do they allow lionesses?
And their main purpose is eye research. I don't know.
Excuse me?
Yeah, that's their thing. Eye research.
What?
Oh, I thought you said the mating.
No. No, it's eye research.
Yeah, glasses.
I don't know.
What? I don't even know what you're talking about.
But
are you serious?
They give they collect glasses. That
They
was
do?
the original. Yeah, that was what
That was why they
originally
started?
did, and then
All around the country?
You know, I
Yeah.
think it wound up being an organization in Easton that just had a massive volunteer base. They had there was someone who would recruit constantly to get people in, and I think that just took off. And then also the Lions have the Grange.
You
which
love the
I
Grange.
love.
is
the
that what
Grange.
the sales are?
Yes, it's amazing. You can drop your stuff off.
Mm-hmm.
And they resell it. And all that money, almost all of it, goes back into the community. It's tremendous.
No, they do wonderful things, and I think they went beyond the glasses.
Oh, they did 1,000%.
Because
Yep.
They,
right.
they
Yeah.
just raised so much. It was almost like the Matcha Dimes.
Yes. Yep.
The Matcha Dimes was for polio. And
Oh.
Dan Ramo's mom actually has polio.
Oh, I didn't know this.
And the Matcha Dimes, and you'd fill these cards up with
Yeah.
dimes.
Oh, yeah. Remember doing that as a kid.
Matcha Dimes
Yeah.
kept her alive because they paid for her treatments. And she was at the tail end, so it's sort of like somebody has to be one of the last people to have it.
What kind of treatment did you need for polio?
But so the salt vaccine. So you'd go into school, at least I did when I was like in third grade, and you'd drink this little thing of, it was a tiny Dixie cup that tasted a little like water. It wasn't bad for kids to do. And so all of a sudden, there's a cure for polio. So the question was, picture you're the president of Matcha Dimes, and you're making
It's over.
and you're making $1 million worth of a salary for as executive director. So they pivoted and changed to doing other great things particularly for children.
Oh.
Ah.
But
Who knew?
was
That's
so-
why you need turn practice.
Is there any other useless information that
Well, we can't not touch on Crohn's Colitis Foundation of America and the fact that you raised over $1 million for it.
well, Jake and I did.
Yes.
So when I was 13, I was diagnosed with Crohn's, and nobody knew about it back in 1967. And fast forward, and I had remission for 37 years, which is crazy. I mean, it's not something you remiss from for that long. And something came back, and they did different things, and finally they figured out it was Crohn's, but in a different area of the intestine. So Jake and I talked about it and said, gee, this is horrible, but let's take, what can we do that would be positive? And so we talked to some friends from Easton, and 8 or 10 of us got together. Sean Grover actually came up with the name Team Intestinal Fortitude. We started our own nonprofit, raised $162,000 the first year on the legs and heart of Jake, who ran marathons and half marathons.
So fast.
Across the country.
Does he take after you, Steve?
No.
With his running?
no, he's probably in bad taste, but that's never stopped me. He'll probably be wheeling me this year. Andy got the only bid for the United States for the London Marathon, and it was the year that
I have goosebumps again.
it was the year that Harry and William liked each other.
Oh, yeah.
So they're at the finish line. They had blue headbands for all the runners. So in addition to all the monies for other charities, they raised like 10 billion euros for mental health.
Wow.
And William and Harry were at the finish line.
Cool.
No good. Megan wasn't there.
You don't like her?
If you tell me I should, I will.
No, you can do whatever you want.
I'm on Team Kate.
Oh yeah,
I do like Kate.
yeah.
But
Although, have you watched Suits on Netflix?
no, is it good?
I haven't watched this.
Oh
either.
well, Meghan Markle. This is the program she starred in, and it's about a law firm. I am hooked. I am on season 3. You need to watch it. All of a sudden now, I want to be a lawyer.
So, okay, so I'll watch Suits, but there's an episode of South Park,
Yeah.
a recent one,
Yeah.
where they started a world tour to ensure our privacy. So Harry and Meghan were going across the world promoting
Privacy.
We demand our privacy,
Right.
and they were looking for viewers and all that. But I don't know. You're on Oprah, and then you're on.
I know.
Then you write this book, Spear,
Right.
And
I can't figure it out.
I
can't
don't
figure it out. I
know
don't
who
know
to
what
like
say.
or who to hate.
I don't know.
I don't like Charles either.
Well, I want to say
And
they are winning because
Charles?
you are both
Yes.
know all about what they're doing, what shows they've been in, and what tours they've been on. So they won.
Well, yeah.
They won.
Fine.
That's what their job is.
And
Just
may I say,
be in the
mother
news.
mother would call Camilla dog face Camilla.
I don't
My
like
mother
Camilla.
was so into the royals.
Yeah.
She had more pictures of the royal grandchildren on her phone than her own grandchildren. She was obsessed with the queen. She knew everything about every royal.
So my favorite was Philip.
Oh.
Philip, they
right.
were
Wait,
they were
isn't he-
married for like 71
Queen's
years.
husband.
Oh, the queen.
He always, I think he had a really good sarcastic sense of humor.
Yeah.
And I think kept the queen
Grounded.
in check because
Yeah.
Yep.
she took on this incredible role at
Right.
like 21, 23
Yeah.
years of age.
I mean, can you believe that?
No.
But the one thing that on the Oprah interview that got to me
With Harry?
no, with
Oh.
Meghan this time.
Oh.
Well, it may have been Harry. I'm not sure which one said it. It was on the security.
Yeah.
So we get past. What if they look more black than white? And some crazy uncle, I'm sure, must have said that. But then it was, I think, Harry saying they don't have enough. They were living in somebody's $14 million home in Toronto.
Yeah.
And
Squalor.
it was, we don't have, if it weren't for the monies we received from our mom, Lady Di, as an inheritance, which was incredibly large sums.
I wonder
like
how
tens
much.
of millions. I looked it up at the time.
You did?
And it was like more than everybody in this room makes by a lot. Times 10.
How dare you, Steve? How dare you?
Well, except for you, Steph.
Do you know who I am?
I see you and Meredith and Carrie Flynn and every issue of whatever the name of your firm is.
Weinstein Keach.
Coldwell Banker.
Coldwell Banker. Weinstein Keach, powered by Coldwell Banker.
So did you feel that they were flaunting?
It seems silly to say that if it weren't for because I think it was 30 million.
Okay.
If it weren't for the 30 million that my mom gave us, we wouldn't be able to have security for ourselves and our children. And it's sort of like, well, if you didn't have the 30 million, that would be one thing. But then they went to California, and some other actor gave him a free house for, I think, and again, a $15 or $20 million home,
Right.
and provided security for them and all that kind of stuff. So they were.
I don't know what to think.
I don't know. I read the book Spear.
What'd you think? You don't feel bad for poor Harry? He was a spare. He's never going to be king. He lost his mother. He has red hair.
So the it's not legitimate?
He's a ginger.
He's a ginger.
What's that?
A ginger has red hair. That's what they call red-haired
Well,
people.
Stephen said because you called him red hair that he's a legitimate child.
Well, I don't know. Is this breaking news?
No, kids that have red hair are called gingers.
Okay. I didn't know that.
Oh, see, I taught you something today, Steve.
Okay. So,
I used to have a crush on Harry. Not when he dressed as a Nazi, though. He lost me there, Steve. He lost me.
yeah, that was a horrible Halloween costume.
That was
Terrible.
That was a misstep.
He should have picked something.
That was a misstep.
It was a misstep.
But
He can't get over the death of his mother, Steve. He can't. And for many, many years, he thought she was alive after the crash.
Mm-hmm.
He thought that she was in hiding. And
Yeah.
it wasn't until he was in his 20s that he asked to finally see the pictures of his mom. And then he finally knew she was never coming back.
Yeah, he did. All of it's sad, and
He needs therapy.
probably the saddest thing is, so we have some friends from England who live in East End, but are
Steve,
still English citizens.
Wait, what about Carol's family? They have British accents. Hello? I met
Carol,
them.
my wife?
Yes.
Oh, her sister-in-law's from Liverpool.
Yeah, and so they talk like this. I'm like, "Hello, how are you?" So we were right.
Yeah.
We were in Miami, so of course, I'm like, "Where are you guys?" Whatever. So we got to hang out with the Marcuses and Carol's English speaking, right? Yeah, they have that accent, and so I'm
Yeah,
like,
they speak English.
right. So I'm like, "Would you like a spot of tea?" And so.
Her brother doesn't. Only his wife.
Well, I
does.
didn't care about him. I was talking to
Okay.
her.
Okay.
So then Tony texts me, "You need to, between you and me, you need to stop with that English accent." I go, "What?" And and when somebody says between you and me, well, especially when Tony does, I go, "Look what Tony wrote." So I showed it to Carol. She goes, "You can speak in a British accent. Talk to me about it."
So what's funny is our British friends.
Who are they?
Who
We want names.
you want names?
Yeah.
Andrew Mia Whiteside and Joanne Mia Whiteside. They live on Canton Street.
Ah.
Meredith, you don't know them? You know everybody in
A
Easton.
daughter Angel and a daughter Hayden.
Oh, so they
Like
live in
18.
England, but they're U.S.
No, they live in.
Oh, they live in the U.S.,
On
but
Canton
they're.
Street.
Oh, I'm
but
sorry.
they didn't become American citizens.
Do they talk like this?
Water.
They have accents,
Water.
Water.
one of the
Harry Potter.
One of the
Harry
thing-
Potter. Spot of tea.
and he has
Spotted dick. That is sold in cans in your local grocery store, by the way.
so they're very nice, very funny, very loyal to
The Queen.
the Queen and
So
and
England are
Long
William.
live the Queen.
But
Should we play Queen music?
William it's the you go one side or the other, but at one point they were doing that little beer thing they did at Children's Museum.
That was not a little thing. The Brew Museum.
Yeah, where they
yeah.
had
A lot of fun.
Meredith hosted a table there.
Yeah, where they had the little kids drink beer. That was so
No.
fun. And he went through
Leave it to Meredith.
he went back the back road,
Yeah.
and there were like high schoolers there, and he gave him his ticket or paid, and they started imitating his accent.
Uh-oh.
And after the museum, we met them at Township or La Cucina or whatever it was.
Did you
was
kick
at the
some
time.
ass?
No. And he told me the story, and I said, that upset you? And he said, yes.
Oh.
And I said, everybody does that.
I can't help
And then I said, what if...
So much fun.
And
It's
his-
the best accent.
His comment was, well, if you were Chinese, would you like it if I went, okay, I get your point, but I never did. So hopefully he's not listening.
Oh. Yeah, Tony was livid that I was doing that, but I can't help it.
No, you can't.
And
help it.
Carol said it was fine. So
Yeah.
I listened to Carol and not Tony.
I mean, how can you not?
How could I not?
When Sally Cousins was in the office,
she goes,
you
"Oh."
could not help yourself.
She goes, who wears wellies with a skirt.
No, a frock.
Oh, with a frock. Who is Willie's with a frock?
Yeah.
So I was wearing so we had a manager. Her name was Sally Cousins, and she was very corporate. And she was from England, and she wore nylons and shoes.
Yes.
And I said, Sally, no one in this office wears nylons. Maybe occasionally Meredith might, but no one wears nylons. Anyway, so one day I came in rain boots, Steve. I had rain boots, and I didn't feel like changing into my shoes, and I had a skirt on with my rain boots, and she was offended.
She was totally offended. I think you promised her tea and crumpets.
Yeah, she said, who wears wellies with a frock? And I said, and has 2 thumbs? I do.
So
I got that one.
So this person didn't like your English accent, or Tony?
Well, no, Tony was livid that I was talking in an English accent to Carol's relatives, and he told me to stop.
And I don't think Carol's relatives would.
They were so nice. We had the best time. Then we went somewhere else after that. I don't know if you remember. We met Jake out. We had a ball.
I was up here.
No, Steve. You were?
I don't know. Maybe it was.
Oh, yeah, you were. Yeah, it was me and Kat. It was me, Kat, and her relatives, and you missed a whole night. Jake, you missed it all. We had a blast.
So what's going on at Weinstein Keach? How is the interest rates and
we don't know. We don't talk real estate on this.
Yeah, the bad medium.
You know what? The interest rates really haven't mattered at all.
They really haven't.
They haven't. We still have buyers lining up.
At least in our marketplace.
Yeah.
Other parts of the country, it's
they
impacted.
might be having issues,
Right.
yeah, but not us. We're still getting multiple offers, Steve, as long as the house is priced right. If we take an overpriced house, it
will sit.
Is sitting.
Yeah. Buyers just don't make low offers under asking, very rarely anyway.
And inspections are back.
Yeah.
So which is good.
A little leveling off, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Somebody from the office just bought someplace maybe down in south of North Attleboro.
Rehoboth?
Seekonk.
Rehoboth.
Yeah. But it was, they had tried, like, he and his wife had tried 5 different houses.
Oh, God.
I lost out.
And
so hard.
got outbid. They went over by $50,000 on one of them. Still didn't get it. They really wanted a building inspection. They couldn't take the risk of not doing a building inspection on an older house.
Right, of course.
And they lost that one.
Isn't that obnoxious?
Finally, they got one, but they were. This was recently, and they were still panicky that they weren't gonna get a house ever. I mean, there was just going to be bidding wars and too many buyers with cash.
Yep.
Who could close and worry about the finance later. Who might take the risk on the building inspections. So yeah, a little correction probably was needed.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I don't know that we're in a full correction though, because it's July, so it's hard to say. What we're going to see is the end of next month, the media will start reporting that it's a correction, but it's not an accurate reflection because it was the summer market, and the summer market is the slowest of the year.
And plus they were saying, right, we were going to have the biggest crash and real estate was going down. Everything they reported was wrong.
Right. I think if we look at the end of October and we see that the fall market is still slow, then, you know.
Yeah.
But some of it is, you know, I think Alan Greenspan called it irrational exuberance with the stock market.
Yeah.
But it was a little crazy.
No question.
If our daughter Alex, who's 35 now and living in Oakland, but first bought in San Francisco, she called it, so this is 9 years ago. It was this tiny condo in a 3 or 4 story building from 1900 for some outrageous, for more than any house.
$7 million.
Yeah, more than any house we had ever bought.
Right.
And it's, Dad, it's impossible to rent. There are every rental, there are 50 to 100 people standing outside on the first day. So we're looking to buy, and then, okay, we found some place, and I learned about for the first time, because I guess San Francisco has this for a long, long time, that there are always bidding wars. What we had here is what has happened in San Francisco forever.
Got it.
So you have to bid over, you have to waive inspections, and you have to close in 2 weeks. And this is crazy. And then I talked to an attorney, condominium lawyer friend of mine in San Francisco, who said, no, that's how it works here. They put it on the market the first day. There are bids and overbids, and they stage it and all that kind of stuff, but they don't last more than a day. Then she cashed out on that and bought a single-family home in Oakland, which, believe it or not, is actually becoming a nice area. All I could think of were gangs. I didn't even like the fans in the end zone at the football games. But and it was the same thing.
Wow.
It was that there was a bidding war in Oakland, and the prices there were crazy. So it sort of become a suburb, almost like people in Boston going to Dorchester or
Right.
Quincy, or a ton of people in Southie, and people going like to Carver or
Right.
Plymouth.
Mhm,
Right.
mhm.
And I don't know. If there's a correction, there's a correction.
What's changing now? You're working with Jake?
No, I work for Jake.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Jake's the boss.
Jake's the boss.
Is he
Jake's
still
the-
in Miami? Or is
Well,
he here? What's going on with
he-
him? I haven't seen, usually I bump into him. I see him traveling. I haven't seen him.
So he hurt his calf, so he isn't
Ooh.
running as much.
That must
but-
be it, because we used to run together.
Yeah, right.
But he's living in Dorchester.
Wait, what? When did he leave Miami?
Well, he bought so he
Alexa lives in
he
Dorchester.
became a partner with somebody that used to be a partner of mine. Then he bought a house in Miami. I'm not sure why.
Oh.
He's renting that out for 7 months, and
What about Digby?
Digby's with him.
Okay.
Um,
So he's renting out his house in Miami for 7 months. So he came back
but-
here.
and he's living with this guy, Joey Donovan. Good Beth Donovan. I don't know.
I don't know Joey Donovan. How old?
33. Jake's
Single?
age. Single. A little crazy.
Tattoos?
No.
Gold chains?
No, he has some conspiracy theories
Oh.
about like.
I'm trying to find someone for Alexa, FYI. She's 28 and she's living in Dorchester.
I think he's very bright.
She needs somebody with a little bit of edge.
Yeah, okay. I mean, he.
Will conspiracy
He-
theory work for Alexa?
Sure.
I
She'll take.
I find him to be interesting, and knowledgeable.
He might be too knowledgeable for her.
Never know.
No, he's. I wouldn't. I wouldn't picture him as.
What's his name? Joey Donovan?
Donovan. Yeah, Joey with a accent mark on the.
Joey?
E. Yeah.
No, sir.
That
Really?
That might work.
That's so
I-
dramatic. I love it.
and for no,
Did he add that or did his parents do that?
I think it's. I don't know.
Can we have him on the
Maybe they'll
podcast?
come on.
So we can ask him? What's that called?
Tilde?
Is it?
Accent mark?
Aigu, accent aigu.
I don't know.
It was grave
You two
and
are the smart
aigu
ones.
if it's French.
Oh.
What?
If it's French, it's grave, accent grave, or accent
Oh.
aigu. For 4 years of high school
I find this
French,
interesting.
and then a year.
Can you
at
speak
Colby,
French, Steve?
I can't do anything other than accent aigu and accent grave.
Well, so wait.
And
so,
your parents spent all that money.
so Jake is living in Dorchester.
So he's
I
li-
can't
He's got a
believe
roommate.
this.
He's living on Dodd Ave.
Awesome. So fun.
And I just want him to be. He has a ton. There are a ton of Eastern people in Southie, Dorchester, Somerville.
Yeah.
The ones with more money are in Seaport.
Yeah.
But
Alexa's in a triple decker.
well, that's a but.
On
what is she-
Bierce.
But is she 10 minutes from
She loves it.
downtown?
First, she did miss me for the first 8 months, but now she's finally happy and settled.
But it's so close to.
And she's with another Eastern girl,
Okay. So that's
Alexa
good.
Ventresco. It's the Alexas.
Oh, the photographer?
No, Ralph and Gina. No,
Not
they
Nick?
might be related,
Oh, okay.
but it's not the photographer you're thinking.
Okay.
Of. Yeah.
So,
So Jake.
so Jake's there. So,
Wow. And so, what kind of law is
so
he?
he's after doing insurance law for 6 years, he started calling me and saying, "Oh, I have an interview," and he's mentioning people from my firm who are now scattered at different firms, and I have an interview with these people and these people, and I knew nothing about this. This plan?
Does he say, "I am Jake Marcus," and people say, oh, "Is your dad Steve?"
No, he.
I bet.
He's picking up stuff very, very quickly.
He's
but
very bright.
But once a month we do something called the Marcus Hour, which is just like a Zoom thing. Nothing like the $1 million studios that you.
That's right.
You know, Steve, we do have a fourth chair here.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
if you wanted to do your
Marcus
Marcus
are
Hour
here.
on our podcast, we welcome you.
We don't even know how to do that. We do it. They sign in through Zoom.
Oh, I do love a Zoom call.
Yeah,
I
it
love
is
a Zoom
fun.
call.
Remember Zoom during
Oh, we could
2020?
Yes.
Oh, we could do the Marcus Hour, but with you two as the guests.
Oh, we can do
No.
that.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah.
Because there's all sorts of stuff going. So, sort of in my spare time, even with working for Jake, I've been involved with.
I love that.
For some volunteer works, I was co-chair of the National Task Force on Building Inspections
Oh,
after
Florida.
the building on Surfside,
Yeah.
Florida.
Oh,
Mhm.
God.
Went pancaked and killed
98.
98.
98.
And
Oh my God.
so
What a way to go.
we the organization won some award for the safety and inspect. Some of these buildings hadn't been. This building basically hadn't been looked at in 40 years. It was concrete on the ocean, the salt's eating at it,
Mhm.
and they had been told 5 years earlier that they had $9 million of problems that were serious, and they ignored them, and they were about to do $15 million worth of work when
It just
everything
collapsed.
collapsed.
Good God in heaven.
So
So wait, Jake his law practice is in Florida and here in Boston?
Mhm.
He passed 2 boards.
Yeah.
Wow.
Very bright.
And he is practicing condo law, right?
Yes.
Because I get the emails.
Yeah.
As he should.
And
It's fabulous.
more up here than down there for the.
Okay.
Sounds like he's
for the
moving
moment.
back, Steve.
We're never really sure.
We never know what Jake's up to. Steve, can you come to my next board meeting? I'm on the board now for 1 year. It's me and Steve from Maxie's Deli at Cobb Corner, and then someone else. Our stairs are falling apart.
What's the name of your condo association?
It's called Waterside Condominiums. And did have to call Steve one day because when I first moved into Waterside, so Waterside's in the back of Knowlesbrook. So I had a conundrum. I had a dog.
Oh,
Now, the
right.
condo laws at Waterside, there's just 12 of us.
Yeah.
The condo laws at Waterside say, yes, you may have a dog, but you may not walk it on the property. Now, I live in the back of Knowlesbrook. Now, Knowlesbrook says no dogs allowed. Where was I going to walk my dog?
So what did you do? I forgot about
what
this.
did you do?
There was a whole issue. And then when I first moved in, they tried to fine me $25 for dog poop. I said, I will not pay that $25 unless you send me a specimen that says it is my dog's poop, because I always cleaned up.
But
Knowlesbrook, so I would walk my dog through Knowlesbrook and get screamed at because no dogs were allowed. And I couldn't walk my dog on Waterside property. And for me to get out of Waterside and go to the main street, I had to walk through Knowlesbrook.
But
it was a mess.
Yeah, but
and everybody, every time I walked, the old people would say, "Is that dog registered?" I said, "Yes, she's a Democrat."
Reminds me of a story. A long time ago, my parents took us to Nantasket Beach because for like from 6 to 13, because my dad insisted, because we had never seen it, that the people who go to Cape Cod are morons. You have to know Arnold, but they sit in traffic for whatever. It's almost like Yogi Berra's statement with, "Gee, that restaurant's gone downhill. You have to wait like 2 hours to get in now." It's awful. So my mother was walking a standard poodle that we had, Enid, and some maybe the dog went at her or got near her, and this woman yelled to Skeepy, "Damn Jew," and my mother answered, "No, he's French." French poodle.
Good one, Enid. Good one.
So I'm not sure why I told that story.
Yeah, what happened with? I don't remember what happened with Rosie.
Well, eventually, I don't know. People just started getting dogs in Knowlesbrook, and they were getting letters, and then eventually, just more and more people were getting dogs, and it just kind of
gave it up.
It just kind of went away. So they have no dogs allowed signs all over Knowlesbrook, yet every single person has a dog.
Because what came up were the emotional support
animals.
That
was it. So you just get a quick letter, and then
every person could get a letter from
you can get a letter from anywhere, right?
You can do them online. So
then I was selling a condo at Knowlesbrook, and there's no animals allowed. So this particular buyer had 2 cats, very elderly, on death's door.
And house cats.
House cats. They never went out. And so I called somebody on the board who shall remain nameless. And she's like, "We don't care about indoor cats, but you didn't hear it from me." She said, we really just care about dogs, not cats. So I went back to the buyers and I said, the board doesn't care about cats. Like, as long as the cats are indoor, they're fine. No, we can't go through with it. So they backed out. But then they came back.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, they did. They came back, and they're like, because every single condo they went to look at was crappy, and they didn't allow pets. And this one, the board's like, we really don't, as long as they're inside, it's fine.
Now, I did have somebody who bought Rolling Pines in Easton.
Oh.
I don't know if they still have a no pets policy, but she bought and then got a dog anyway because she didn't think it would be a big deal.
Oh,
she moved because of it. Oh,
she probably got fined daily. So my friend got fined daily at Knowlesbrook, $25 a day.
Yeah.
Every day for her dog. She had to get an attorney.
Yeah, that's $25 a day adds up.
Yeah.
I think Steve wrote the condominium laws for Knowlesbrook.
Probably.
And he's the one that put the charge in for $25 a day.
Why would you
I know I spent like 7 months with those people redrafting their
it's a tough crowd
documents, and there were people that didn't trust the board, and what should have been like 2 hours worth of work ended up being like 7 months worth of work, and probably 12 meetings.
Not surprised.
And people were just a little crazy. But
well, Steve, you didn't answer my question. Will you come to my board meeting? It's me, Steve from Maxie's, and someone else I don't know.
And Stephanie's going to say, I brought my attorney.
My attorney here is Steve Marcus. You might want to Google him.
So what's the, do you have an issue, or you just want to show some power?
I just want to show power. No, well, the issue is...
do. Stephanie got on because there's work that needs to be done to the...
So we have all concrete stairs, and they're legit all falling apart. It's a huge project. And my condo fee when I moved in was $225 5 years ago. Now it's up to $550. Adam. And now it's going to go up even more because we have the steer issue.
But somebody's going to get hurt if you don't take care of it.
Oh, we have to. Are you kidding? The steers are crumbling.
Yeah, but can't you guys get a mortgage? That's what everybody does in an
Oh,
association.
an association loan.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we're going to have to do, I guess.
Yeah, those have worked out really cool.
Yeah.
But we've done very big ones to smaller ones, but we've
Maybe-
done like $40 million loans. And
Yeah, but there's only 12 of us.
no, you don't need 40 million.
Let's say we
but
needed $1 million.
If you were
No,
the
we don't
Brook-
even need $1 million.
If you were the Brookhouse, you might need
What's?
a lot.
Let me see.
Well, you guys are going to need to
we're
phase, like
15
depending on what the roof condition, the
I
siding.
have a new roof.
Yeah, prioritize.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's say it's 15.
I loved condo living. Is your place condoed where you
Yes.
live now? So
And-
duplex
Yeah,
condo
I
or
love
three?
those
2 or 3?
Duplex, but there are 5 of them. There are 5 duplexes, each on its own lot. So they're not.
Are you part of Goodspeed?
No, Jennifer.
No, Jennifer Estates. You love Jennifer Estates.
You're in Jennifer?
Yes,
Yeah.
but the two
I didn't
outside on the main
realize.
road.
Oh,
So I'm in Mike Vrabel's unit, which I
Right.
wrote the documents for Doug, and Mike Vrabel bought the unit when he came up.
I didn't know
from-
that was Mike's.
Yeah, and
You
then,
are
Wait,
So
I
cool.
thought you were on Center Street for some
We
reason.
were.
Oh, you were.
Weren't you renting on Center?
Yeah, we
Oh,
were back
Meredith,
on.
Even I knew. Well,
Well, I knew you were there. I just didn't know that you went
But
to Jennifer. They're beautiful.
Carol and I talk about it, and it's I have the floor, share it with the office and entertainment room. She has a floor.
Yeah, they're beautiful.
There's a basement with.
wait, did you
that's
redo the
half
flooring in the
finished.
basement yet?
Yes.
You did? Did you use Herb? Herb from
No,
Taunton?
No.
You didn't? Oh.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh,
I'm not
I said
sure.
Carol's name.
Doug built those, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those?
Yeah.
They're beautiful.
Yeah.
But
those-
I always liked them. So
Me too.
And we're getting the hook.
Do you want to do your?
3-minute hook. He's giving it to us.
We do a song to end the podcast.
No, we do not.
Steve, do you have a
there-
good singing place?
Do you know why hummingbirds hum?
What?
Because they don't know the words.
Oh, I love a hum.
Okay, did you learn anything?
Yes, I learned a lot.
This was we knew. We said, who is smart and can just have
We
the
said-
gift of gab?
We need somebody really, 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 really
I
smart.
was like,
on
yeah,
the
but I didn't
podcast.
really tell anybody about what I do. Help them with any legal issues.
No.
But maybe you and Jake will come back. Do you
Yeah,
think
well,
Jake
that-
would come on?
Oh, definitely.
Oh, good.
Yeah, he's he loves public speaking now.
Oh, good.
Oh, this is
Okay.
perfect. All right, so we'll book you and Jake.
Yeah.
And Alexis.
Oh yeah, Alexa.
We'll bring Joey.
Oh.
We'll bring Joey.
In the
Joey
studio.
Badafuco.
We
Remember
might
Joey
need a couple more
Badafuco?
chairs,
I want to talk about Joey Badafuco next time. That whole case is fascinating. Steve, we love you.
Thank you for
You're
coming
the
on.
best.
This was great.
Yeah, and
Thank you.
yeah. Did you have fun?
Yeah, this is good.
Yeah, right? Were you nervous?
Very relaxed.
People get very,
Was
very
he
nervous.
nervous?
to come
I don't
on
think
our
Stephen
podcast.
was nervous.
No.
Did you have a little butterflies, a little bit of anxiety?
I didn't. If you had asked me 2 days ago, I wouldn't have known whether. But you both made it very comforting. The room is calm.
Yeah. The headsets. That's the
Yeah.
difference.
The way you lead the
Yeah.
the conversation, because I have a feeling that if I were a deaf mute, that you would have been able somehow between you two.
Why does everyone think I'm so loud? And on that note,
No, saying that you could have.
Yeah, well,
handled the
people
hour.
say
Yeah.
they say, what are we talking about? We say, you're with
It
the two
doesn't-
of us. You don't have
right.
to worry.
That's why we say no talking before the podcast. Okay, now we really have to
Oh,
go because
yeah.
we're in huge trouble.
30 seconds.
Adam is glaring at me, and that's it. So
I'm
Steve-
Meredith Keach.
I'm Stephanie Weinstein. Steve.
I'm Steve Marcus.
And that's the show.
Thanks for watching, listening.
Don't forget to subscribe.
Hashtag.